Welcome back to part 3 of this review. This is the review for the LP Fusion stock for the FX-DRS. I'm struggling with this review, guys, because when you're asked to review something, or when you ask, as I did, I asked to review this, you take the product out, you use it, you do what you do with it, and it's fairly apparent, fairly quickly, what you like and dislike. But I mean, you might find it fairly hard to believe. There's nothing that I dislike about this stock. There's nothing. Now, if you've been following this review, this is part 3. In part 2, I asked an independent shooter to play with it, use it, and critique it. And I asked him to critique it as well. I told him I didn't want 2 answers. I just wanted the God's honest truth. And he struggled too. So I've done that to try and be open and honest. If you believe me, you believe me. If you don't, you don't. But there's nothing I dislike. So if I'm waffling in this video, I apologise. But do you know what I mean? It speaks for itself. Honestly, guys, this stock is amazing. So the original stock is £2. The original tactical stock is £2. This one is £3.8. And I think in this case, weight is your friend. The tactical stock was far too light for this setup. I'd be waving the barrel around like Harry Potter's wand. It was awful. So I think weight is your friend. The weight of this stock definitely helps. I've put a massive 1 kilogram night vision unit on it, which also helps. So let's get into it. Yeah, what do I like about it? So I don't know, everything. So if I waffle, I apologise. But from the very front, from the hold, it's fantastic for the lead-in hand. The grip, ambidextrous grip. Honestly, I've never felt nothing like this. I've got form grips on my Vixens, and I love them. Listen, there's no 2 ways about it. I'm not going to start slagging them off. I love them. But this is another level. It's unreal. Honestly, it's so comfortable. Genuinely so comfortable. The low-profile cheek piece is my favourite. It's got that much adjustability. You can literally get behind the scope, and it's a repeatable hold, so you can get in exactly the same position every time, which translates to better accuracy. It really does. More weight, same hold, comfortable, absolutely perfect shooting position. It just translates to accuracy. And this stock made me more accurate than the original did. And I'm not slagging the original off. It's very good for what it is, but it's a standard stock. This is far from standard. Honestly, this cheek piece, I've twisted it in. The only one that comes close to this is I had the Air Arms S510 Ultimate Sporter, and it had the laminate stock with all the adjustment at the back, but the cheek piece was too deep. There was nothing wrong with it, but it was just too deep for my personal use. This low profile one helps me get my head across, gets my eye right up behind the scope, and it's beautiful, honestly. The lop on this, the length of pull, if I move it there and shoulder it properly, hopefully you can see the rake of the grip, etc. And it just fits perfectly. I know Brian said that for him personally, if he was being finicky, he'd like a little bit of a ridge on the thumbs up. Personally, I love it. I pest control. I've not been behind as many stocks as him, and I'm not as particular as him. He knows what he loves. He's an amazing fella, genuinely. He knows what he loves. And I'm not for 1 second saying he's wrong, but he was talking how he would make it perfect for him. This is a custom stock that's produced for the masses. If you've seen part 1, part 2, you'll understand why. If you haven't, go back and watch them. But honestly, guys, I'm not going to waffle on. I'm not. This stock fits me perfect. The length of pull, the thumb up, the cheek weld, the front grip, everything about it screams quality, screams accuracy. I can get the same hold every single time, and it just increases your accuracy. It really does. Now, there is a couple of things that I dislike about it. There's no rail at the front, and I think if you're spending money on a custom stock, you don't want to be drilling that stock at home and putting your own sling studs in. So I've spoken to Phil and I've spoken to LP, and going forward it is going to be an option. I can't see any reason why any, and I mean pest controller, target shooting, bench rest, they all need some sort of rail. So my recommendation was it has a rail, and I don't want to be drilling. So if you want a sling stud, that should be an option from the factory. So I've passed them on, and that is literally the only thing that I don't like about this stock. Absolutely love it. It's by far the best stock I have ever held. Honestly, this isn't mine. I'm not getting paid for this review. I'm going to return this one. I'm considering buying one, absolutely. But this isn't mine. I'm not being paid for it. My opinion is genuinely honest. This is the most complete, most perfect stock I have ever shot. So I'm going to leave you with some pest control footage. This is the pest control side. I genuinely feel that this stock made me a more accurate shooter. It definitely made me a more confident and more comfortable shooter. But I genuinely feel the way you get up behind it, the length of pull, everything on it is perfect, and it made me a more accurate shooter, and it crosses over from target to pest control seamlessly. It is absolutely fantastic, guys. So if you haven't checked out parts 1 and 2 yet, please go and check them out. I'm sorry this is short and sweet, but we sent most of it in video 2 when I got the independent shooter Brian Sampson to critique it, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's the most complete, most perfect stock I have ever shot. There's nothing more to say, guys. So I'm going to leave you with pest control footage. I hope you enjoyed this review. Details of this stock can be found at the Ratworks. So just Google the Ratworks, go over to there, or inquiries at the Ratworks email address. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Take care, and until next time, stay safe.